Ah, the holidays. It's that wonderful time of year when our homes fill up with festive cheer and, almost always, a gorgeous new plant. You know, a vibrant poinsettia, a delicate cyclamen. They're absolutely beautiful, but let's be honest, they've got a bit of a reputation for being, well, temporary.
So, does this whole scene look a little familiar to you? In December, that plant is a stunning centerpiece. But by the time January rolls around, it's kind of this sad, wilted reminder of festivities past. It's this all-too-common tragedy that makes so many of us feel like we just weren't born with a green thumb.
But what if I told you it's not about having some magical green thumb at all? Nope. There are actual secrets to keeping these plants thriving, not just through the holidays, but way, way beyond. And today, we're gonna uncover them.
All right, our first case file. The most common reason for plant failure is water. It's where most of our good intentions just completely go wrong. But don't you worry, this is a very, very solvable mystery.
You know, the biggest mistakes often come from a place of caring too much. We see a beautiful plant, and our first instinct is just to shower it with water. But loving a plant to death by overwatering or just watering it in the totally wrong spot, those are the classic signs of a killer with good intentions.
And this really gets to the core of the issue. See, plants like cyclamens have a central tuber, which is kind of like a bulb. Pouring water right on top of it is like forcing the poor thing to wear a wet hat. It just traps moisture and invites rot. And they also hate sitting in a puddle, what gardeners call having wet feet.
So the solution is to learn how to water from the bottom up. And I'm telling you, this technique is a complete game changer. You just let the plant drink what it needs through its drainage holes. The soil acts like a straw, pulling moisture up to the roots without drenching that sensitive crown. Just let it soak for a bit, then let it drain completely. No more wet feet, it's that simple.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is tried and true wisdom from fellow plant lovers online. I mean, these people have learned the hard way, so we don't have to. Watering from the bottom prevents that central mold and rot that, let's face it, too many of us have seen before.
Okay, with the watering mystery solved, let's move on to our next culprit, light and temperature. Because where you put your plant is just as critical as how you water it. The right spot can be the difference between a plant that thrives and one that just, well, survives.
And here is the biggest secret of all. These plants aren't divas. They're not difficult. They're just homesick. Yeah. If you understand where they come from in the wild, their care instructions suddenly make perfect sense. It's not about being a plant wizard, it's about being a plant detective.
Let's start with a classic case of mistaken identity. You see the word cactus, you think desert, right? Hot, dry, sunny. Wrong. The Christmas cactus is actually an epiphyte. That means in the wild, it grows on trees in the shady, humid rainforests of Brazil. So blasting it with direct sun is literally the opposite of what it wants. It craves bright but indirect light.
And what about the cyclamen? Well, its ancestors are from cool, moist alpine woodlands around the Mediterranean, and that explains everything. They prefer cooler rooms, around 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and they absolutely hate being blasted by a hot, dry heating vent. A cool windowsill is their happy place.
And the quintessential Christmas plant, the poinsettia? It hails from subtropical Mexico. It's used to bright days. So to keep those stunning, colorful leaves, which are actually called bracts, by the way, it needs at least 6 hours of bright, indirect sun every single day. Without it, that beautiful color will just fade. See? It's all in their origin story.
Okay, this is my favorite part. We've covered watering, we've covered location, but what about the plant that looks like it died no matter what you did? This is where we uncover the most misunderstood secret of all, dormancy. So picture this. It's spring. Your cyclamen has finished blooming, and all of a sudden its beautiful leaves turn yellow and just fall off. It looks completely dead. Your heart sinks. You think, I failed. But did you? The answer is probably not. You didn't kill it, it just went to sleep. This is called dormancy. After putting on that big, beautiful show of flowers, the plant just needs a rest. So it sheds its leaves to conserve energy in its tuber, getting ready for the next growing season. It's not dead, it's just taking a nap.
And this quote from Reddit user _, just sums it up perfectly. So many healthy, living plants end up in the compost pile because their owners mistake a natural nap for the end of the line. So the key takeaway here is, don't give up on it.
So, we've solved the mysteries for keeping our potted plants alive. Awesome.
But what about those beautiful cut flower bouquets and centerpieces? Their life may be shorter, but they also have a few secrets to making that beauty last.
The key here is a total shift in your mindset. With a living plant, your goal is long-term nurturing. But with cut flowers, the goal is preservation. You're just trying to make a beautiful moment last as long as possible. Their connection to roots and soil is gone, so the entire game is about one thing: maximum water absorption. The secret here has a name. It's called conditioning. First, always use clean tools to prevent bacteria. Super important. Next, strip off any leaves that will sit below the waterline. They'll just rot and make the water gross. Then, give them a long drink and some more water to help them hydrate fully. And here's an amazing pro tip. For poinsettias, which have that milky sap, quickly sear the cut end with a flame. This actually seals the stem and locks all the moisture in. How cool is that?
And this is the kind of result you can expect. Stunning flowers like Amaryllis and classic roses can be used to create arrangements that last so much longer than you'd ever think. Proper conditioning is really the secret that separates a centerpiece lasting a weekend from one that lasts a week or even more.
So, as we wrap up, let's just go back to our main theme. Keeping holiday plants alive is not a superpower. It's not some innate talent you're born with. It's a skill. It's about being a detective, observing, understanding the plant's backstory, and giving it what it truly needs.
You now have the 3 biggest secrets: solving the water mystery, understanding their native homes, and knowing when a plant is just taking a well-deserved nap. You are officially a holiday plant whisperer. So the only question left is, which one are you going to save first?